Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. And wow, what a difference a week makes. What a difference George Kittle makes. Um, 49ers beat the Atlanta Falcons 20-10. And I mean, I don't know if they shocked the world, but I do think they made a statement. And Christian McCaffrey, 24 runs, 129 yards, two rushing touchdowns. He's been averaging 3.1, 3.2 yards per carry tonight. 5.4 yards per carry. Also, 72 yards receiving, catching 7 of 8. Now, George Kittle didn't show up on the stat sheet. He had 2 targets, no catches, but the way he draws defenses over to his side, defenders over to his side, makes a huge difference. Kyle Shanahan said at the beginning of the game he wanted to run it 40 times, almost 39 times. Um, Such a great performance by the 49ers offense against a team that has a great defense. The Atlanta defense has been playing really, really well. I think them losing Divine Diablo did make a difference. I think he broke a forearm. He was ruled out immediately, but losing that linebacker. I mean, we saw what happened when the 49ers lost Fred Warner last week. Speaking of Fred Warner, was at the game, scooting around on an e-scooter, kept it elevated during the game, but was in one of the suites. And every time the camera shot went to Fred Warner and it appeared on the Jumbotron, the crowd went nuts. Of course, Fred Warner yelling, let's go, and being there for his team, I think means a lot. I think his presence lifts up the performance of the defense from Tatum Bethune to D Winters, guys that look up to him. It's almost, I think, like a big brother, a parent watching your performance. So the defense really played well. I think part of it was planning and having practice reps with all of the guys that you're going to have on the field together. Um, Tatum Bethune having the green dot, having the calls sent into him, playing next to D Winters, and the defensive line, these young guys, Alfred Collins and Michael Williams and CJ West, getting more reps, getting more experience. Bryce Huff also had an incredible game. Pressures and moving around on the line. And, you know, I think the effect of Fred Warner being in the building makes a huge, huge difference. Now, they're on the road for the next 2 weeks. I doubt Fred Warner will be traveling, but I think on the opposite side of the ball, George Kittle being in the locker room and on the field motivating everybody, I think that will help. But I think being at home for that first game without Fred Warner it was a good thing it was a home game. To have Fred Warner there, I think made the energy just ratchet up a few notches. I also was talking to Matt Mayoko on the podcast about how the energy is so different even without Nick Bosa, even without Fred Warner, there's this energy amongst players that aren't necessarily household names, like Eddie Pinheiro. Everybody loves him. He, like, when he kicks a field goal over 50 yards or 40 yards, he is so lit up after a kick, and everybody feeds off that energy. Kendrick Bourne, not a huge game for him, 2 catches for 14 yards, but still his energy lifts everybody up, even though, maybe the voices on the outside are saying there's no way the 49ers go anywhere this season. His energy. Chase Lucas is another guy who's not a household name, but he spent the entire 2024 season on the practice squad, knows exactly what he needs to be doing now. Man, corner blitz coming in, he was on it. He's like the shark blitz. What K1 Williams used to do, he was in it nickel. I mean, he just brings energy. So I think even without Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, the energy of this team, there's something scrappy about it. There's something intangible about it. There are some injuries from the game. Jake Brendel went out with a hamstring injury. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little while just because he was ruled out immediately. He went to the blue tent. They're like, yep, you're not playing. Also, Renardo Green, toe injury, not good. No one ever wants a toe injury. Watching Brock come back from it, he's getting closer. I think he'll be back maybe a couple weeks, if not next week. I think, he wants to do what George Kittle did. Don't be an idiot. Don't rush yourself back because you don't want to end the season in week 7, week 8, whatever it may be. But man, George Kittle being on the field, huge, huge difference for the offense. Mac Jones talked about how he draws people to that side. Christian McCaffrey talked about how he felt his presence out there. And yeah, no catches. So if you're a fantasy owner of George Kittle, not a great day for you, but a great day for the 49ers because of what he can do on the field and what the energy he brings. Uh, just they've needed George Kittle. They've needed him a lot. Now, not to discount Jake Tonjes and Luke Farrell, who are really, really good at their jobs, but they're just not the threat that George Kittle is because you don't know which one what he's going to do. Is he going to catch a pass? Is he going to pass protect? Is he going to run block? Saw some really nice run blocking from not only George Kittle, but from the offensive line. Saw Trent Williams run out to the side and just knock a guy over, pancake him. We haven't seen that yet this year. Now, we have still not seen an interception by this 49ers defense, but I feel like it's coming. Chase Lucas was so close to getting he had his both hands on the ball, but just couldn't bring it in. But at some point, it will happen. Great play by Bryce Huff to get pressure. Of course, fumbled. Alfred Collins recovers. Just a good group performance. And I was saying this throughout the week. This defense has to play all 11. They all have to play and do their job. And that is what we saw on Sunday night at Levi Stadium. And, if they play like this, I think they have a chance to do really well this season. I think the biggest, most important acquisition for the 49ers throughout the offseason, throughout everything, was the fact that they brought back Robert Saleh because his game planning for this game was spot on. And I think he knows exactly what the players can do. I don't know that Nick Sorensen or Steve Wilks would have been able to manage without Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. So to see them out there and do it, a lot of it has to do with Robert Saleh. Also, his energy on the sidelines is contagious. So it'll be interesting to see how this 49ers team does. But yeah, a few injuries. Again, Jake Brendel, Bernardo Green, but this group of players that are not well known across the nation have a big chance to shine. Tatum Bethune did a great job communicating. Everybody I talked to said he was amazing out there, led the team in tackles. And, I've spoken about this before. His father was Nick and Joey Bosa's coach in youth football. So he's grown up with a football dad. So I think that does help. And it's gonna be a tough road going forward, but it looks like they could have the guys to do it. All right, it is late. I am going to head out. Actually, I have to write first, but hope y'all are well and enjoyed the Sunday Night Football. And we'll be talking to you soon. All right, Kyle Shanahan will have a conference call tomorrow, and we'll get a little bit more information on the injuries. But man, what a fun game to watch. Talk to you soon.